it's Jeannie back with more Chalk Couture in my week of Home Sweet Home. I'm just checking to make sure that I've got this going good on the cameras facing the right way and all of that good stuff before I get started. And let me bring you up to date on where we are in Home Sweet Home week. And if you're joining me live, if you could say hello so I know that you're here. Okay, so Home Sweet Home week. What that means is that I am using the Home Sweet Home Chalk Couture transfer on 5 different projects, showing you the versatility and how the transfer can be reused several times. So I thought, I'll do the Home Sweet Home one 5 different ways. The first one I did was this wooden sign that I distressed with sandpaper to make it look a little more rustic. I put in a rope. I drilled a couple of holes in the wooden board, put chalk board paint on it, and then distressed that, sanded the edges down very well on this 3/4 inch plywood, and then sanded around the edges too to distress it a bit. And I love how it turned out. I like the colors. So that was the first way I used the Home Sweet Home. I didn't, the transfer comes with Home Sweet Home all lined up, and I didn't keep them in line. I used the home at each corner and then the sweet over the center in white, and then distressed it after it was dry. So that was the first idea. This could be used on a front door instead of a wreath. Or anywhere in your home, really, because there really is no place like home, right? That's what I always say when I get home from vacation. I'm always ready to come home. Okay, so the second thing I did, I think, was, I'm not sure if this was second or third, but I did this cookie jar, this glass container, and I just used the word sweet out of Home Sweet Home. And so this is going to be a cookie jar or a candy jar for when the grandkids come over. And that's going to be filled with sweet treats. So there's a second idea, and a totally different surface. And that was using chalk paste also, so that can be removed. All I have to do is wet that down and wipe that off. That'll come off. Now the third project that I did was this pillow cover. I took the pillow out of it because I'm going to do something else with this today. So this was using the Couture inks and using the transfer just how it comes, and lining it up, centering it, eyeballing it, and using the ink like I said. I'm not going to use a transfer again today. What I am going to do is jazz this up a bit with this big wreath. This is called the Rustic Wreath transfer. So I'm going to cut this apart and use this to embellish this pillow cover. I think that's going to look pretty. So the first thing I'm going to do is cut apart the transfer on the white lines, because there are several elements that come with this transfer, more pieces than just, you know, because you can add flowers and leaves and more greenery to the wreath, as you can see. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do yet. I'm basically just going to start with the wreath and see how that looks. If I add anything else, it's probably just going to be flowers. I'm just going to do this as we go. All right, this is a brand new transfer that hasn't been used yet. It's going to be, so you're going to have to just guess. This is the placement of this. Okay, so this is brand new. So I'm going to carefully remove it from his backing. Before I do that, I'm going to put a big B on the back of this so I know that's the back of the, move that. That's the back of the carrier sheet. Okay, the backing of the transfer. Now with big transfers like this, you want to be careful when you're removing this that it doesn't fold back upon itself. It's not the end of the world if it does that, because I've done it. But you have to get it in water to get it unstuck from itself. And it's not fun. And you risk stretching the transfer. So just be careful. And you can see through this enough for the placement. I was worried about that. Okay, so I am going to flip this over carefully. The sticky side down on my pillow cover and try to center this as best I can over the Home Sweet Home. I hope the batteries hold out in my light there. All right, and I'm gonna smooth this out. I've got a towel under there I'm gonna remove. So it's flat. And then let's see, here's my home, the bottom of my home, the top of my home. It's pretty well centered, it's good enough. Now I have to decide what color I want to make this wreath. Oh, I also have to put something inside of this pillow cover. I don't have an ink transfer protector thing from Chalk Couture yet, so I'm using an old Cricut mat that I'll use to protect from the ink going through the other side. This is big, so I'll have to remember to move that around in there. So it's covered. We're about to, so I can do here to here about to remind myself. Okay, so let me look. What color should I use? There isn't a brown per se, but there is a shimmer gold and a shimmer copper. I think I like the shimmer gold for this better. It's deeper, I think. Let me just take one more look at my colors. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the shimmer gold. All right. Thanks for joining, by the way. I appreciate you being here. Now I'm going to open this up and see if we need to stir it. Probably not. It looks pretty. It's usually with the paste that I have to stir stuff up, which is good. Oh, here's a stick. For sakes, I can't find a stir stick. Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to clean off my stir stick just by dabbing it on here. Now I'm going to grab a squeegee and start smoothing this over the open areas of the transfer, which are the silk screened areas. Now I have to remember to stop where the Cricut mat is not protecting it from going through. So that's why I kind of put this ink jar here, making sure I'm in frame. But I saw some pieces done with this rustic frame, and my favorite ones that I saw other people do had a lot of pretty small, pretty, colorful flowers on it. So that's probably what I'm going to do. Now, can I get it all done in this session? Probably not, because the ink has to dry before you move on to the next layer or the next color. So I will be layering over top of this with flowers, so I'll need to allow this to dry. So I might have to do this in a second live video so that you don't have to sit here and watch ink dry. Okay, I'm going to go up to here. Let's see where my mat is. It ends right there. So before I move the Cricut mat, I'm going to get these areas. I really need to get one of the ink pads from Chalk Couture because I think they're big enough that they would cover this whole area. I need to order one. Some more ink, spreading it out, smoothing it over. Okay, let's check if I got all the open areas. Okay, I think I did. So I'm going to move the mat inside of this pillowcase. See if I can do this without making a mess. So it does stick to the mat. I'm going to lift that up. Try not to get ink everywhere. Slide this over and down. Okay. I think we're good now. So, yeah. Can finish inking. Yep, you work with the ink the exact same way you work with the chalk. You spread it out, you spread it over the open areas with the squeegee and squeegee off the excess. Put it back in the jar. Exactly the same. I think there are 15, right now there are 15 different colors. This has shimmer to it. I like it. And I think this is as close to, this is pretty close to what I wanted. I wanted like a brownish, but not dark. Rustic vine. This is a big vine. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to remove the transfer, but first I want to make sure that there's no ink on my hands, and there is, of course. I'm the messy crafter. I don't want to remove the transfer until I get the ink off of my finger, so I'm just using a disinfectant wipe. Okay, now when I remove this, this transfer is bigger than my pan of water that's over here, and so I'll just have to put like one side in it and then move it over to the other side and clean it off, because I'm upstairs. I don't have my big kitchen sink here. All right, so when you remove the transfer, you want to remove it from the side, or it would be good to have another pair of hands here, actually. This one's so big. But you don't want to pull it from a corner. You want to pull it from side to side or top to bottom, so as not to stretch and distort the transfer. Oh, I am liking this. And I think I'm even gonna love it more when I can add some pretty colorful flowers to it. Now I want to be careful too not to have this folding back on itself, and I also don't want to get ink over anything else because there is wet ink on there. this in the water. Which I know is out of camera range, but I just want to get that all wet so that it doesn't dry on my transfer. Okay. And dry my hands. There, that's pretty. Now, what I want to do is add some pretty flowers, but where? Where is the question? So I'm wondering, like, wherever there's, like, where it branches off for these, like, twigs, it would be cool to put, like, a cluster of flowers there. And I'm thinking these flowers. So let me grab my scissors. There's so many, you know, it's just up to what you want. I'm not an artist, but somebody with artistic abilities will probably be way better at, like, the flower placement than me. So, but I'm just going to go with my instinct, and I'm thinking, like, in here, or like in this area here, and maybe one here. It's not, or you know what, down here where it's kind of light, because I'm not going to remove any, I'm not in danger of removing any ink that's not completely dry. So I'm going to put a pink one there just to see how it looks. Just because I can. Why not? And I'm just going to use the tiniest amount of ink that I can. I just want this to be a light touch. Oh, I hope I didn't get it on the, I went over the edge. Darn it. Do you see that? I might have gone over the edge. Let's take a peek. Ah, nope, not so bad. All right, so there's one. Let's put one here. Oh, that didn't come out. I didn't put it, I was really light-handed on that one. Let's do that one again. I keep getting perilously to the edge of this, don't I? Let me wipe that off. The edge. Where else? How about up there? Let this dry for a second. Let's put one here. Okay, so that's 3. I'm going to put this in the water. And let's grab a different color. color flowers do we want? What do we got? How about yellow? Yellow would be pretty. A small yellow one. Let's use this one. Hi, thanks for joining. I don't want to go over where it's wet. Let's put one. Let's put one here at this dot. Grab a squeegee. Okay, and let's put one here at this dot. And a third one. Let's put one up here. I like to put the flowers closer to each other, but you have to wait for them to dry because the transfer is going to lay on top. I like that one. Anywhere else that I want to put yellow? I want to put one kind of over here near this pink one, the peachy pink. Let's put it there. And I'm going to try not to disturb that ink. There. Kind of like that. And let's do the same thing over here. Let's do one next to this peachy one. Yeah, I like that. I'm really starting to like this a lot. Okay, I'm gonna clean off this transfer and allow that to dry too. It's gonna take a little time. And the other one also. So I want to add a bunch more flowers, I think, over time. What do you think? I like the flowers. Let me clean this other bigger one. There aren't a lot of flowers on this, but you know, I do have flowers from the bicycle one that I could use. I might do that. Mix and match, you know, using flowers from different transfers. Why not? I'm looking at my colors. I think it would be neat to pick up colors, this color, you know, that's in the suite, don't you? What do you think? Dry off this transfer. Where can I put one? Where is it dry? Let's do over here. Or is that too far off of the vine? And that yellow might not be dry yet. Darn it. I might have to come back and let's put one here. Let's do the teal, the couture teal. think I would like to add one here, here, and here, but I want to wait for those inks to dry because I don't want to mess them up. Then I also want to do the centers of the flowers. So I think I'm gonna stop while I'm ahead and let these inks dry, and then come back in and add more flowers later. What do you think? Okay, so this is the continuation, like I said, of the Home Sweet Home transfer. I just wanted to show the versatility of these transfers and how they could be used over and over and over again, and even just parts of them. I used the sweet on a cookie jar, and this is on a pillow cover, and I did the wooden sign. In case you're seeing this later, or you came in late, this is the first thing I made with the Home Sweet Home. This is one of my favorite things, actually. But now, I think it's being overtaken by this. This is my new favorite thing. Once I get more of these little delicate, pretty flowers on, this might be my new favorite. It's like every time I make something, the next new thing I make with Chalk Couture becomes my favorite, because I just love, everything turns out way better than I had even hoped. And that's what I love about this company, this product. I just love it. I'm just crazy about it. I think they hit on something really cool that anybody can use and make such pretty things with very little effort and not a lot of money either. I like the price point of their products. I like that everything's reusable. Like if you go to a paint night, which I love, I go to the paint nights, but you come home with a canvas that you painted on that you may or may not like, depending on your painting abilities, and that's what you come home with. You're not coming home with paint or brushes or a stencil or anything like that. Like, you get what you did, and that's fine, and I do it too. I have several paintings, some I hang, some I do not, but this, you come home with a transfer that you can reuse and that's going to look good on any surface without being an artist, without having any artistic abilities. You can use these things, and that's what and the chalk that lasts, and the inks that you get these jars, you buy these jars, and they will last you a long time, because you can see how much I spread it out and I put the excess back in the jars. And so, you know, everything's reusable. And the surfaces too, the chalkboard surfaces that they sell, they're all, you know, reusable. There's two sides, say, to this one, and you can erase. You can't erase off a canvas that you bring home. You painted that, and that's what you're stuck with it. Whether you like it or not, that's what you got. Well, if you come home with one of these that you did a project on, well, you can flip it over and do something else, and then you can erase and redo and do them on other surfaces that you find or that you have in your home. So many surfaces. Like I'm gonna do something on this flower pot. I am going to do things on these dish towels. I am going to make something on this metal bucket from the dollar store, and I have the matching tray. You buy these inexpensive chalkboards from Michael's or AC Moore or wherever. This is not just about chalkboards, though. This is about all kinds of surfaces that you can use these products on, and that's what I love about it. It's just, you're limited by your imagination only, and that I like that kind of thing. And you know, I know that I have shared over the years a lot of silhouette and Cricut tutorials and things like that, and that's great, and I will continue to use those machines. I love them. But I would get a lot of comments from readers like, I can't afford I wish I could afford a Cricut. I wish I could afford a Silhouette. I wish I could afford to do the things that you're doing, but I just can't. But this, everybody can afford this and make pretty things, and that's what I'm all about. A Creative Babble is making pretty things and making things pretty, and that's why it's my tagline, because that's what I'm about, finding ways to do that. So if you have any questions about anything Chalk Couture or anything else, let me know. And there are links to these products on my Facebook page and also on my blog on createandbabble.com, and also on YouTube. Look me up on YouTube too, though I have lots of videos there also. All right, so I'm going to leave this for now and let this dry, and I'll come back with that. I don't know if it'll be tonight. If not tonight, I'll be back tomorrow to add more flowers onto this. I'm going to let these inks dry. All right, well, I will see you all later.